concerning the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feasts of the Lord. And ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations.
Some of you may have read your Bible for years, but may never have seen the scriptures just presented. So what are these feasts of the Lord, and what have they got to do with Christianity? Everything! These feasts and appointed days are all about the Messiah, Jesus the Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, shadows of the first and second coming. Please see our video on Colossians 2:16 to understand how these things are shadows of things to come, and the body of that shadow is Christ, Messiah. But before we get to the feasts, let's find out what else most of the world has missed. Did you know that God has His own calendar? And it is in the Bible you've been carrying around all these years?
This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
God's day is from evening to evening, 12 hours of night and 12 hours of day. Imagine that! Midnight is actually in the middle of the night. To prove this, we read in Leviticus 23:32. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even. From even until even shall you celebrate your Sabbath. In Genesis 1:5, and the evening and the morning were the first day. The evening starts the nighttime hours, and the morning starts the daytime hours, equaling one day. God's week has always been 7 days, from the beginning of time. On the 7th day, He rested. Genesis 2:1-3. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day, God ended His work which He had made, and He rested on the 7th day from all His work which He had made. And God blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because that in it He had rest from all His work which God created and made. The 7th day is Saturday. Check your calendar. See if I'm right. You may say to yourself, the calendar's changed. We can trace the calendar to the time of Jesus, Yeshua, who kept the Sabbath. Saturday is the Sabbath, the 7th day of the week. No church or person on this earth can change God's commandment. Now that we understand His week, let's look at God's year. The Gregorian calendar starts the beginning of the year in the dead of winter. But God starts His in spring, the month of Aviv or Nisan, the month of Passover, new life, rebirth, resurrection. God's month is from new moon to new moon. To some, the new moon is when there is no moon. But we believe it is the first time we see the crescent on the right side after there is no moon. This is up for debate, but does not change the fact that God's month does go from new moon to new moon as proved by the Bible. Isaiah 66:23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. In summary, God's day is from even to even. That is, sunset to sunset. And God's month goes from new moon, all through the phases during the month, and then again back to the first visible crescent of the new moon. Now that we know when the month starts, let's look at the names of the months. The first month is Aviv or Nisan, in Exodus 12:2. In Exodus 13:4, it has the name Abib, or Aviv in Hebrew, which means spring. Nisan is in Esther chapter 3, verse 7. The second month is Ziph, or Ziv in Hebrew. It's in 1 Kings 6:1, It's not Ayar, which is in Judaism. The third month is Sivan. It is in Esther 8, verse 9. The fourth month is Tammuz. It's not in the Bible, and is the name of a false god. The fifth month is Av. It's not named in the Bible. It's made up in Judaism. The sixth month is Elul, which is also not named in the Bible and made up in Judaism. The seventh month is Ethanim. That's in 1 Kings 8:2. It's not Tishrei, which is Judaism. The eighth month is Bul. That's in 1 Kings 8, verse 38. It's not Kesvan, which is in Judaism. The ninth month is Kislu. That's in Zechariah 7:1. The 10th month is Teveth. That's in Esther 2:16. The 11th month is Shabbat. That's in Zechariah 1:7. The 12th month is Adar. That's in Esther 3:7. When necessary, there's a leap year, and when this happens, there's a 13th month called Adar 2. Now that you know that God has His own calendar, isn't it sad that the churches have erased it? God's feasts are according to His calendar.